Well, you know, there's a lot we can't talk about on this particular platform without getting banned, so I have to watch my words pretty carefully, but I think I'm allowed to tell you that we're switching to an outdoor format as much as possible for the Safe Stream show that's been on once a week. And I know I tried to do some unusual approaches with sarcasm and other things like that, and some people were saying do more, and some people were saying I can't stand it when you're sarcastic. And I had some electronic bots trying to sound like a human and saying, I can't understand you when you're sarcastic, you know, which is an oxymoron in itself, because they knew their programming allowed them to know that I was being sarcastic. So I'm going to try to just eliminate that as much as I can. Sorry to be waving to you. There's things flying around me out here. This is different than an indoor environment, and I got to see between them and, you know, get to the camera. But we're going to talk about not only what's going on in the world, because just saying, you know, serious problems that are happening is not really useful unless we come up with solutions. So on one level, the solutions are mass non-compliance, as great people have been saying, Chris Sky and David Icke and Alex Jones and a lot of other people saying that it's very critical to stay peaceful. Ricardo Bossi is great on this, Bossi, and I have to be careful. I can't talk about these mass gatherings of people in motorized vehicles that are so heroic right now, and I really appreciate them so much. They're reflective of a rising spirit of awakening among the population, but it has to have more scope. It has to spread to more of the population, and it has to be to a higher level of consciousness, which is what gives the results to the physical actions. Totally peaceful, totally harmonic, working for what you're for instead of against what you're against. That's really critical understanding. And we're going to get into some of the deeper consciousness aspects as well as the physical ones, because they have to go together. And I just wanted to let you know, and I would have had it up yesterday, but I was running into timing limitations and had to get ready for the main shows yesterday. Saturday is one of our busiest days. But I really appreciate your encouragement and support. We have such great feedback from viewers. It's all really appreciated, even if we can't respond to all comments and things like that. You're individually appreciated very much. And as I've said before, I really sincerely consider you personally to be a massive hope for the world. And you have much more power than you realize. We all do. And it's not just getting together and doing physical things, it's internal. And we're going to talk about that, not just in a kind of a, you know, new agey kumbaya type way to make yourself feel better, but practical impact on the outside world from what you do internally, especially in the emotional state you carry around. So I'm going to be looking for some things that I can say about that won't be unacceptable on this platform. And I have a lot to share with you. So stay tuned, and we'll be back as often and as soon as possible. If you want to help us spread the links, that would be really appreciated, because we're obviously dealing with a lot of shadow banning and censorship, especially on some platforms. And I noticed that the AI programs have been going back years into our archives and censoring things, or, you know, removing videos that were long in the past. So I don't know what they're up to, but they would like to get all the unacceptable views completely taken off permanently, and they haven't done it yet. So we need to make use of this time and not underestimate the value of whatever days we have here. So there's a lot to talk about. I also want to talk about some of the unacceptable, violently suppressed information on physical health, aging, degeneration, ways to heal from things without poisonous drugs and stuff like that. So I'm going to look, you know, that's not uncensored either. There have been a whole bunch of doctors in the US, probably more than 200, killed for unacceptable views on some things that we're not allowed to talk about anymore on health. But we'll be trying to get through that, get around it, And the stuff that we can't put on a public platform, we'll share on our interactive weekly meetings on Planetary Healing Club. That's what that was for. Not just for life transformation for us personally, but to tap into where our power source is and how we can help to heal the world, as the song says. And I want to share that with you. If you're interested in that, that gets down to actual work on yourself. Nobody's telling you what to do or anything, but we're sharing things that are actionable internally that rarely get talked about. And that's what Planetary Healing Club is for. And you've always been invited, but if you want to put the focus and the attention and the work into that and start self-assessment and upgrading your life in ways that you can and becoming more powerful and helping to change the outside world, then you can join us on planetaryhealingclub.com. And if you have questions about that, just send them in. There's a contact form on lostartsradio.com. Also, for those of you that want to support our work and keep us on the air, noticing that we're not doing commercials, because there's almost none of those that I feel completely clean about. I really enjoy getting to suggest things to you and promote things because I think they're good, or I've had a good experience with them. Instead of thinking, wow, if I sell so many units, I get this much money, even though it's for a good cause. I really like being free of commercials. So the only way we can really keep things going, because I haven't figured out how to do it without money yet, is donations. And there's a donation button at lostartsradio.com if you have the resources for that. And there's a subscribe star link. That's another way to do it, both at lostartsradio.com. So if you want to help us, and those of you that do, I really deeply appreciate it. We've got a lot of projects on hold, which will be activated when the funding is there. So if you're a friendly billionaire who wants to help us get some of our expensive stuff going, let me know. But actually, if you're a billionaire that wants to do something good for yourself and the world at the same time, even if you have no interest in supporting our work, I don't care. I'll help you and share information of things that you could do that would have major impact. And I'd love to talk to you, even if you have no interest in supporting the work that we're doing. It doesn't matter. There are urgent things to be enacted all over the world right now, and the time that we have left, whatever that is, before it gets more difficult, is very valuable. Our rulers are trying to start wars and completely destroy the monetary system and the value of the currency, and that's well underway. So there's a parallel civilization to be built, and the time we have to work on that is very precious. So I'm inviting you to do it with me, and our success in that will inevitably depend on the work that we do internally. If you're carrying around destructive emotional states, those are more powerful than you know, but so are the positive ones, if you learn how to focus those. So we have a lot to talk about. Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate you tremendously. I know what you could do and what we all will do as we wake up to our real nature and who we actually are. The biggest secret that our rulers are trying to keep from us, over and above all the other sensitive stuff, is who you are. Once you realize that, not in theory, not in a religion, not in a philosophy, not in a belief, I'm talking about experience. Once you realize that and act on it, this whole nightmare scenario is over, and it's in your hands. So I suggest that we talk about that, and not just talk, that we start to do it. So meet me here next time. Check out planetaryhealingclub.com. Stay in touch at lostartsradio.com to see where we're not censored and where you can still see our full shows. And support us if you can, one way or another. Okay, take care of yourself. That more important than supporting us or anybody else is yourself. Because if you take care of yourself and start doing the things that are good for you and stop doing the things that harm yourself, your value to the world just skyrockets. And there's not a better day to do it. So let's start now, and I'll meet you soon. Take care.